would be like stomach, rib cage areas.
Hmm.
And not that I didn't go into it like not being confident. It's just that when it was my first couple of times tattooing around that area, it was very humbling. It was like, oh wow, I'm tattooing such a sketchy spot, like such a sketchy area on someone, like someone's stomach. That's a lot. That's a lot to for someone to put themselves through. So it's like being the one that's actually doing the deed. It's pretty like it gets pretty hectic in my head. You know, it's just I gotta be on my A game. Not that I'm never on my A game, but it's like when it's
I hope so. Shit,
no.
fucking crazy.
Nah, but it's like when it comes to certain areas, I just kind of have to put myself in that space where I have to be confidence has to be at a 101. You know.
If I requested a tramp stamp, would you do it?
It would depend what it is.
Oh.
Yeah. No, see that's one thing too. I'm not just gonna. So a lot of people. Just to put this out there to like any people viewing, listening, wanting to like hit me up for a tattoo. If you just send me a picture and really like blankly ask how much for this, I'm probably not even gonna reply to it. So it's not about like, cause like what that tells me is like you're not even like engaged in like what I do. You know, like you don't see me as like an artist you want to go to. You just see me as like a person who does tattoos, who you could like, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, I feel you.
if you're really like interested and want to get tattooed by me, hit me up and be like, hey, like I see what you're doing, and it's like I really like your style, and it's like blah blah blah. Like give me a reason to like want to actually be confident in the work that I'm doing. You know, if you just hit me up and be like send me a picture of like some cholo lettering like on your arm and be like, hey, how much for this? I'll be like, bro, what the hell? You can just walk into a shop. Like,
How often does that happen?
a lot of the times, I could have a client for every single day of the week if I really wanted to. Like, it's to that point. But it's like, just the impact that has, it's like, it makes me not want to be that way. It's
Do
like,
you ever get tired of that? Like people just hitting you up?
yeah, it feels, I don't want to say degrading, but it's very, it's just not humbling. It's like, okay, you're one of those people who just like care about getting a tattoo for like the lowest, cheapest price, you know? You're gonna go around like asking every single tattoo artist, like, hey, how much would you do this for? How much would you do this for? It's like, to me, it ain't about the money, you know? Like, I'll give you my price, and my price is my price, but like the price doesn't matter. You know, it's like if I'm confident in the work that I'm doing, and it's like if I like the outcome, that's what matters.
I
to
hope
me.
when I approached you about it, I wasn't like that, because I never brought up pride. I always was like, this design
Oh
look cool.
yeah. No, never. Just like if that was the case, I probably wouldn't have even answered to begin with, you know. So, yeah, just a little thing to put out there.
Well, that's good to know. You know, if you really respect someone's work, ask them, or give them a good question, not just act like you're on Craigslist trying to get the cheapest.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing that I do want to talk about is like, how do you treat this as a business? 'Cause if you want to make this a career, how do you treat this as a business?
Well, before I take this seriously, before I take tattooing seriously, I think I have to take myself seriously, you know? I have to take myself seriously enough to, like, be upfront with myself and be like, yo, you could be making a lot more dough than you're making, but are you going to be happy, like, with what you're doing? And it's like, I have to tell myself that. Because, like I said, I could have a lot more clients than I currently do. But it's like, there's a lot of pride that goes into it. And it's just, I'm not going to put myself in that position. So when it comes to me treating this like a real business or a real thing or real interactions with actual clients, I put that just that border on myself of like, yo, are you doing this to like satisfy people, or are you doing this like so that both sides of the party could benefit from it, you know? Like, I want my client to be happy, but I want to be happy too, you know? I don't want to just send like a client home with like a sick ass tattoo, but then like I go home and I'm like, bro, what the hell did I just put on someone, you know? So there's that fine line of like, you know.
Have you regretted any tattoos you've done yet?
Oh,
If you're being
man.
honest with yourself, you don't have to say what it is or who it is. I don't. You don't have to put it out there like that. But like, have you ever regretted like, fuck, I should never done that tattoo, or like, oh, maybe it didn't come out as good as I wanted. Well, there's probably always gonna be that, but like, what I'm specifically asking, has there ever been like a certain tattoo where you're like, man, why did I do that for?
Most definitely. But I've never really had a reoccurring thing where it was like, oh my god, why did I do this? It was more of like a, oh, I know I could have, like, I look at back at my old work a little bit, and it's like, if I were to do it now, I know I'd probably do it differently. So that's what I look back at. It's not the fact that I regret doing the tattoo, it's just that I regret not doing it the way that I would do it now.
Hmm.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. And just growth, I guess.
Yeah.
Going back to the taking it serious and making this like a career for you in business, what are ways that you've been marketing yourself out there, and what ways can you improve upon that? And also, are you actually making money off this, or is this still just a hobby for you?
So see, that's another thing too about. I think when money is involved in a lot of things, and the title job, quote unquote, or career, that sets a lot of boundaries for people. You know, like me, I personally I enjoy tattooing, and I enjoy taking the time out to like getting to know someone just based off of like the few hours that I get with them, or I actually enjoy being like in a state where someone could trust me like with their body, you know. And I think that to treat this like a real career or a real job is to not look at it as a job at all, you know. Like yeah, I'll make a buck here and there, but this to me this isn't something that like I wake up to and it's a burden like oh my god I gotta go tattoo today. Like no, that's not the case, you know. It's always like oh okay cool like today I'm a tattoo and it's like I'm excited to do this design.
How are you marketing yourself out there though?
Very straightforward. I'm not. I've been wanting to, but I've been very hesitant to do so. But for the most part, it's just I let my artwork speak for itself. You know, I throw it up on social media, and it's whatever attention it receives. That's the attention it receives, and I'm very happy for it.
One thing I've noticed is like I've always was thinking like, well, how come we don't have a bigger following? I understand that you're gaining you're gaining traction and like stuff like that, but I was just curious if like you've been marketing yourself out there, you've been getting your name out and like hustling in that aspect. But now I understand that you're still trying to learn your craft and trying to build it organically, which is always the best way to do it as well. I mean, you can always like try to do it like super fast and be that annoying type of person that's out there bugging people here and there.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't want to do that with the podcast, but like sometimes you have to in order to get a following or to get people to pay attention.
No, I definitely agree, and it's one of those things where it's like you just kind of go back and forth with yourself, you know. It's like definitely I could easily go on an editor webpage and make some graphic designs of like get tattooed by me, you know, like blah blah blah, just DM me or whatever. It's like nah, that's the initial route that I wanted to take, was just to like market myself and kind of pitch myself to all these people. It's like why do I need to do that, you know? It's you come back to the point where it's like what I'm doing is kind of working for itself, you know. It's like I put my tattoos up on Instagram, people see them, they like them, they comment, you know, little heart eye emojis, they like it, you know. And it's like if you really like it, okay, this guy can do cool tats, I'm gonna hit him up for one, you know. It's as easy as that.
Well, where do you want to take this? Like, have you envisioned like the next level for you, or like the next step in like your tattooing like aspirations or career? Like, do you see yourself working in a shop? Do you see yourself owning your own? Do you see yourself still continuing doing this, but eventually putting your name out there more to get people?
Yeah. And when it comes to working at a shop specifically, I've never been one to like envision that or picture myself just being a part of a shop. I've always pictured myself getting up to the point of being an owner of a shop, you know? Just don't be a worker, be a boss. And that's always kind of the mentality that I've had. But when it comes to like taking tattooing to that, is I can't just do that. I have to gain experience and certain things that just come along with being at that point in life where you kind of just have it all. And that's not what I want to do. I don't want to just, you know, I don't want to just have a dream and like go straight to it. It's like, nah, I want to be a boss someday, but I gotta ride the wave to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta put in that work, right? You gotta put in the time and effort to get to that point.
Hell yeah, cause it's like, if I'm not that dedicated to myself, then what the hell am I? You know, it's like, if I can't be my own harshest critic, then what's the point? You know, if like beforehand, very straightforward, before like anyone else sees my artwork, I have to tell myself like, bro, this ain't it, you know? And then there's other times where I have to gas up myself like, bro, this is like one of the coolest things you've ever done. But because it's like no one's gonna do that for me, you know? A lot of people are gonna give their opinions like, oh, this dude's a trash artist. It's like, okay, like that doesn't matter to me. It's like I have to tell that to myself, you know?
Are you really are you hard on yourself? Do you see in your drawings or your art that is not good enough for people to pick out for your tattoos? Or are you getting better at that point to allowing to share more of your art out there so people can see, you know, what you're about, and maybe they're able to, you know, get some work done by you or share your art with other people?
I think a lot of it has to do with not that I don't feel that I can't impress others. It's the fact that it's like kind of how you said, you know, I don't have a big following, but I have those moments where it's like, why don't I have a big following? You know? And it's like, it sucks because it's like I see myself that way. It's like, shoot, if I was like a 36-year-old dude and it's like like I seen a 17-year-old like with all this like, you know, just all this ambition, it's like this kid should be somewhere. But it's like that's not the case, you know? It's like my whole thing is, it's like, it's not that I'm not good enough to satisfy people, it's just that whatever I'm doing is just, it could improve, you know?
Maybe have you ever considered just putting yourself out there a little bit more?
Yeah, I think that's another factor too when it comes to me. You can tell a lot about me through the stuff that I do, but I feel like that's also a burden and telling too less, because I let the stuff that I do speak on who I am, you know? So it's like my art, for example, on my social medias and stuff, that's literally all that's up there, just like my art, like a few pictures of me. So for the most part, my art is representative of who I am. It's not, I don't try to put myself out there. I would say I'm too hesitant right now in the moment in my life to put myself out there.
Do you think when someone crosses your path, they know exactly who you are?
In what way?
Like if someone crosses you on the street or at your work, do you think they know who Iggy is? Like that you just could tell, oh, I already know who this kid is, or I already know what he's about?
I think it depends. Definitely on demographics. For sure, I've had moments at Escape actually, like where a couple people were like, I didn't even have to introduce myself, and they were automatically like, "Whoa, you're Iggy, right? Like you do tattoo? You're 17?" I've had those moments where it's like I didn't even have to be like, "Hey guys, I'm Iggy," you know. And so it's like, but it's like with certain groups that I actually know and are aware of what I do. It's not just with anyone.
So do you like that? Do you want that more? Do you want people to recognize you for your art and recognize you for like from what they see off of social media, or do you want them to learn about it by asking you or by getting work done by you?
A bit of both. You know, I don't want people to just see me on social media and automatically think that like I'm this person in everyday life, because it's the best way I could put it, like as an anecdote, for example, it's like I don't want to be walking my kid like 5 years from now or 6 years from now, and like a whole bunch of people are just like, oh, Iggy, it's like, bro, leave me alone, I'm with my kid, so it's like, I think that's another reason why I don't put myself out there, is because I like to keep my life and the people in it very, very much so to myself.
But do you think you could get to that point?
Most definitely. Yeah, with if I really tried, if that was my ultimate goal, I know I could probably do it, but I think a lot of that has to do with me and the decisions that I make.
So the point of this tattooing for you, this artwork for you, is it more so to do it because you have enjoyment over it and you get to own it, your own art, or you do it because you can make money and you can make a career out of it and you don't have to do like retail type of work or anything that you've done in the past?
Oh no. So the money is just a bonus, getting paid off of tattooing, that's just a bonus. That's like, okay, cool. I get like, cool amount of money off of this. But like that's not what it's about to me. For me, it's like the best way I could put it, on a piece of paper, you could have the most beautiful drawing or artwork ever, but it's like, what can you do with a piece of paper? You could burn it, tear it apart, throw it away, leave it, you'll forget about it in the next 5 minutes. But with a tattoo, it's very permanent, it's very personal, it's very true to oneself. There's no such thing as like just lighting it and throwing it in the garbage can. Well, yeah, you could physically do that if you want to mess yourself up, but it's like at the end of it all, it's like someone's taking their time to like put something permanent on their body, and not only that, but like appreciate it. So that's what it is to me. It's the fact that the beauty lives on. Even past life. I think that my tattoos, they're all gonna disintegrate and be biodegradable someday, but for the time being, like, they're still gonna live on until we're 6 feet underground. So it's like, that's the beauty in it for me. It ain't about the money. The money is just, it's cool, and for it being able to be a job, that's cool too. That's a bonus. But for me, I'm just happy that my art gets to live on as much as it does.
Yeah, I never thought about that, being biodegradable at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's kind of trippy to think about that now. But you do make money off this, right?
Yeah.
Do you make enough where it could become like a full-time like career occupation for yourself, or would you still need to do other things, like other type of work, for you to be okay?
I'll say this. I make enough to keep myself satisfied. And I'm a person who needs very minimal things. Like, I'll buy like the cheapest pair of pants or the cheapest pair of clothing. So that's not saying a lot to keep me satisfied. So no, to answer your question, I don't make a lot of money, and currently not right now for it to be a stable job.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like I said, like, it isn't about that, I think I would be really happy if I were to be able to make that amount of money. But then again, like, just the inner voices in my head, it would be like, yo, like, yeah, you're making enough to pay your rent and get out of your mama's crib, but it's like, you're actually having fun doing what you do, and I think that's what matters most.
Yeah, having fun about what you do. And that's kind of the reason why I started doing this podcast. It's just to have fun and have a different medium to express,
Right.
other, myself and other people that I've come across. And that's why I chose you to do this, this episode with you. It's not like I was craving a tattoo, like super bad. I could have went without one for a minute, but I did really want one, and I thought doing a podcast about it would be really interesting, really cool, and a memory that I could hold on to.
Yeah.
And something I could look back on and, have good memories of it. And I wanted to build something organically as well and try to do that. Like yourself, like you said, is I don't like putting myself out there, and I don't like this. It makes me uncomfortable being in front of a camera and trying to listening to my voice back when I edit the podcast and stuff like that. It makes me very uncomfortable doing that. But at the same time, I gotta get over that and learn to be okay. Like I said, I've always I've always been like an entertaining type of person, and I always want to make people happy or laugh or whatever it might be, and so this is cool for me, and I'm glad you came on today, and you're putting in your time and effort in this, and I know it will come out good, and I hope people that do watch and do listen to the podcast get some type of enjoyment from it. What I do want to talk about next is, you grew up in San Francisco? You're born?
Yeah, born and raised. The only place I've ever lived in.
Has San Francisco changed for you since you growing up, been here, or it's always been?
No, I talk about this topic actually a lot. So this is actually a really good question. So how everything's going today, I think there's a lot of things changing, and it's beyond systematic oppression and gentrification and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's beyond that. It's about like bigger issues, like I'm writing, I'm taking some courses right now, some school courses, and within it I'm writing like a play currently. And my play right now, it's about San Francisco actually. It's about stuff having to do with San Francisco and how everyday life affects people. And so what I'm talking about in my play, it has to do with non-affordable housing, and not just that issue on its own, but how deep it can get, So in my play, I have these main characters where it's like their families are gone 24/7 to keep up with that affordable housing, to come home every day with to that roof over their head. But it's like, what comes with that burden, Your family is working 24/7. They don't have that proper attention for you. So it's like these bigger issues, like with the way San Francisco is changing and stuff, like it goes into like a lot more. So like in my play, these kids feel like neglection from their family, and like they have to find family like through their friends and stuff. And that's like one main thing that I think has been changing a lot in the city. It's like just a lot of things that dive into each other. Like there's gentrification, but then what does gentrification bring? Like unaffordable housing. All right, then what does unaffordable housing bring? Like we leave the wealthy just kind of making fun of the poor, and then what do the poor have? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like there's these big issues, but those big issues are just a tree trunk, and like that tree trunk, it has roots that go into even smaller roots. So that's what I'm trying to get at. And
those are heavy, subjects to, or heavy tasks to pull off, especially in a play. I never knew that you were doing a play. That sounds exciting. Are you like starring in that play too, or are you just the screenwriter?
I'm just writing it right now. So like I said, it's for some school courses that I'm currently in, but like a lot of it has to do with that specific question, with what's going on in the city, and with what's changing, what's shifting. But to answer your question, I'm in the play. I'm not starring in the play.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what role do you have in the play?
Kind of like one of the kids, but not like the main one. I'm just kind of a person in there who kind of just understands what life is like in SF, and how sometimes you have to have a guard up here at all times. And that's kind of really what I just try to portray. It isn't nothing too deep or too heavily to check out, but it's just the idea of being this kind of person out here in San Francisco. There's like a lot of things that change every day, and within that you have to become like a certain type of person, like with everyday people out here, there's a lot of grunge people out here in SF. There's a lot of people like.
So what is a grunge person, for those that don't know what you're talking about? So what do you mean by that?
Me specifically?
Yeah. So what type of characterization of someone, like if they're grunge?
I'm gonna just try to say that someone who's not easy on you. You know what I mean? And I think that's what you face a lot here in the city. It's kind of like you have to have a guard up at all times because nobody here is gonna have it easy for you, or nobody out here is just gonna smile for you every day. You know, no one out here is gonna baby you. It's like you have to have that kind of edge and to deal with kind of those people and just to kind of make it through. It's like you really have to pave a way for yourself sometimes with your head down and just kind of be like, all right, you know, you people are on something else, but I'm on my own thing.
I was gonna say. So I know you, that play that you're talking about, you know, it tackles gentrification, and gentrification is really hard for me to, you know, grasp sometimes because whether I want to think about it or not, I'm part of the gentrification too because I'm not from here. I'm from Fresno, I'm from Kerman, and moving out here, I moved to the East Bay to go to school, and then I moved to San Francisco. But I feel like I'm part of that gentrification, the people that come in and whatever way, you know, however I affect it. I do try to do my part to give back to the community and try to help people out and stuff like that. It's not like I come in with a lot of money and stuff like that. I'm so, you know, working class, so still hustling out there. For those that don't know or have never lived in a big city before, it
ain't cheap out here.
It's challenging, right? It's challenging to live in a big city. It's challenging. City is hard. It's hard life. Before COVID, it was hard. And I felt like one good thing about COVID, I mean, not a really good thing, but it just slowed down life here. And I didn't know what that felt like to have life slow down in the city because I felt like it was constantly going all the time. And when I would go back home and I would drive the same way I drive here, and I'm like trying to beat every street light, trying to, you know, just hurry up and walk through everything. And I'm just like, I don't have to do that back home. I could relax and slow down a little bit.
Right.
And what COVID did is it slowed down things here, and it brought back to me how a city should feel like, not fast paced all the time, grinding all the time, where you're miserable from it as well. You know,
right.
I don't know if you ever grinded hard where you're just tired all the time, you don't have energy, nothing even seems that fun. You're working long hours or going to school for long hours and
just to like cut you off a little bit there, but going back towards what you said earlier about how I portray tattooing as a job or as a career, I don't let it get to that point. You know, it's still so new and meaningful to me to the point where it's like I can't let it get to that point. I can't let it outwork myself. I can't just let it drain my love and passion for it. So I think that's another restrictful thing that I set upon myself. It's like I said, I could be having a client, 2 or 3 clients every day, but it's like, no, that's when that kind of empathy starts coming in, where you're just kind of like, am I even doing this because I like it anymore? Am I doing this because of blank, you know?
Just because I'm a little bit older than you, or actually a lot of bit older than you, that's gonna happen. And I don't want you to be discouraged by that, because everyone goes through it. This is a passion for you, and I see how much you care about your artwork and stuff. But if you really want to make this a business or a career for yourself, you're gonna go through that. You're gonna go through that feeling of feeling exhausted from it or burnt out. That little bit of burnout feeling, or the feeling where it's no longer just a hobby for you. It's like, oh, I have to go over there, or I have to go to work, or I have to do this many tattoos because I have to make money, right? When it becomes something where you have to make money and do things, you're going to lose a little bit of that passion. You're going to lose a little bit of that drive to survive. And you got to, from my experiences, you got to be okay with that at a certain point. Don't let it take away everything from it, because it's going to be miserable for you. But to understand, you're going to have to find balance eventually. Right now, you're still young enough to, you don't have to worry about that yet. But eventually, you're going to want to live on your own. You're going to want to have your own, stuff. You're going to want to be able to take vacations. You're going to have money saved up. You're going to have to pay your bills, and all that stuff factors come in.
Right.
And if you want this to be something that you take to the next level, that's probably going to come with it. And all I got to say is just don't be discouraged from that. It's something that happens to everyone. And I know a lot of people that don't work in something that they started off being passionate about or even cared about. But anything you try, you do your best for, you're going to start to develop, passion and the desire to, to do your best. And I know that you're that type of person. So just, I don't know, just trying to give you a heads up on that so that you don't get to that point and give up tattooing altogether.
Right. No, I appreciate that. No, I like that because you didn't beat around the bush trying to say that, And I think that's another thing too about just being a younger guy doing what I do. I think a lot of people try to set these sort of warnings for me about how stuff plays out, but it's like sometimes people make it seem as if I'm living in their shoes, if that makes sense. And you didn't do that. You kind of just put it out there. It's like, you know what, this is how it goes. I feel like you're really serious about this. Like, it's inevitable. And I appreciate that. You weren't like, oh, you know what, when I was trying to make it, it's not about that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to tell you that it might happen to you. It might not either, though. You might not get to that point, and that'd be great as well. But it might happen, and yeah, I just want you to understand that you're gonna have to be able to adjust to that and be okay with that, and to know if that's something you really want to do or if you want to pull back from that. I don't ever want you to give up tattooing because this is a cool art form and a cool way for you to express yourself. But if you ever chose to do something different, that's something that you would come to terms with eventually, right? And so this is cool as shit. I don't think I could ever do this in my life. I don't think I would ever want to do a handpoke tattoo to someone because it'll come out really, really bad. That's why I save it for people like you to be able to spread that artwork on others. And my arm's kind of numb, so I really don't feel as much anymore. It was really painful earlier. I think you got away from the painful part. It's like on the bottom of the arm or
right.
Like the inner part. That one's painful. Jeez. But on the outside, not as bad.
No, not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. I do like it. So when are you going to have that play? Is it going to be like a virtual play or are you...
Yeah, so actually it's going to be a virtual play for anyone to come through and check out. And it's also a thing now where, how I mentioned earlier, like school wasn't always a good thing for me. So it's like an opportunity for me to just get what I needed from school, but still while doing something that I like doing, And not necessarily that I'm passionate about theater, but it's just I see theater as another form of art, and I would rather be doing a form of art than be taking like math exams, like basic curriculum struggles. Like I'm okay off of that. I've done enough of that, and yeah, I just feel good about it. How was that like?
Nah, it doesn't hurt, but I'm just trying to look, see if it's coming out good. But it looks good. Looks really good. My arm's a little asleep. I wonder if people are watching. I can't see without my glasses. I think I got a couple of people watching. Thank you, whoever watched today, and those that will listen in the future. Appreciate it.
I want people to check out the podcast itself, though, like the audio, and just check that out,
Yeah, I'm gonna edit it, so hopefully I edit it and it comes out really well, and I'm gonna try my best to get some good quality out there. But I think that doing this format, it's a little bit different because I'm getting a tattoo at the same time we're recording this, so it's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be cool. I'm glad we got to document it though on video and stuff. So it's something that I really wanted to try. But I realized the camera is sideways, so if I upload it, it's gonna be sideways. I would have to flip it or something. Whatever. I'm surprised Alexa hasn't came in. I told her to come check up. Yep, that's the part that hurts.
Yep.
Yep, that one's it. You got me right there. Oh shit. Why does it hurt so much in that area? Oh fuck.
It's just body fat. Like I said, your endorphins run really high while getting a tattoo.
I'm probably like at a 5% body fat.
Oh god.
Nah, I'm gotta lay off those
Okay.
tallies.
At least for like the second session on this too, I don't think it would be too bad.
No, I think it's gonna go by smooth. So you're just doing the outline right now, and then we're gonna do the colors, the colored in part like later on.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna go over some stuff on this next time.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So I think the Instagram live is gonna go off like in 10 minutes or so. So when that happens, I was thinking we can take a break for like a second and then finish out the podcast. But we could also do like a video, like if anyone had any questions, we could answer your questions and stuff like that. If you want to do that right now.
Oh yeah, that's sick. We can do that.
All right, let me ask to see if people have questions, and then we can get that going. Because my arms like really asleep right now. All right, so I asked if anyone has questions before I answer. I need to take a break.
How people are behind the scenes of a podcast.
Whew. It's coming out good. Looks like La Llorona.
It's a huge. Yeah, I'm gonna clean it up.
Oh yeah, it hurts a lot. The inside part, like this part right here, hurts really bad. But not as bad as the. What is the gun? The gun doesn't hurt as bad.
Machine.
Or the machine. The machine doesn't. That one hurts really bad. This one not too bad. I could take it. I'm not gonna cry on the camera. I'll cry when it turns off. I'm feeling good though.
Okay.
Feeling good. Does anyone have questions from your side?
I don't know. If anyone's viewing on my live, feel free to ask us questions. You guys are kind of like behind everything going on, so.
What's up?
Hi, Selena. I know Selena's on your live. Oh, wait, this way. I don't know.
She's on that one.
Oh.
We ready to shout you out, Gerardo? Where are you at?
What do you say?
What did it say? I can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
He says shout out Zach too. What's up, Zach? Zach's next. Zach probably has one of the coolest tattoos I've ever seen. No lie.
Which one?
He has a Friends tattoo. Right here. I don't know if
I
you ever
haven't seen
watched the show.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a really sick one right on his leg.
I gave him the one on his
You didn't give him the skateboard one, did you?
No,
Okay.
I think he did that.
That one,
himself or
yeah, that
something.
one's probably not his best one.
The one like on his leg, right?
Yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah.
but I like it still.
I dropped my joint. It's gone. I can't see.
I'm like holding on right here. I'm not holding on to his leg, I'm holding on to like a middle. It's like a metal like route right here. I know it looks like I'm holding on to your leg.
Do you want me to read you questions?
Yeah. Alexa's gonna ask questions, or she's gonna be the moderator. And then we're gonna go off of there. Yeah. I think you have like 10 minutes before the Instagram live turns off. So is there any questions coming up, or is there anything? Who's watching so I can give them a shout out?
Shintan
Just show me.
Taro. There's me, Zach, Ron, Danny, and Hans, and Steven, and everyone gonna slide to your house. So, who's that? Everyone at Escape?
Everyone at Escape or what?
Hey man, they're showing love for the podcast name, dog.
There it is. Showing love. I see it. Oh shit, they said they're outside. Oh goddamn. Better bring pizza, fuck. Alexa enjoys seeing that I'm squirming over here.
Really? He's probably like 3 times already.
Well, not fucking a little bit.
So, do you regret getting this tattoo now?
Nah. I don't regret it.
Did you think it was gonna take this long?
No, I didn't. But shit happens.
It's funny because I told you to before, and I was like, it's gonna be a good sized piece. When you first sent me the design.
I'm gonna get Escape from New York tattoo, the pizza place. That one's next. It's gonna be with Gerardo when he's spinning the pizzas.
How long has it's already been? 2 hours since you started?
Yeah, about.
Is it getting to you now, Aaron?
A little bit.
In the first half, we paused like a lot.
Yeah, we're good though. I've seen better days.
This isn't the longest I've tattooed. I've tattooed for like 6 hours straight.
6 hours? Who the hell are you tattooing for 6 hours? Gerardo?
Yeah.
Motherfucker's crazy. You're crazy, Gerardo.
Do you want to hit?
Can I show what it looks like right now?
Give me a second. It's like. It's dirty, but go
It's just
ahead.
people staring at my face, making faces.
No, it's not clean as hell, but.
It's coming alive.
Slowly.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
Look at Luis, it's coming alive.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Let's get back to this podcast now. Alright. Well, we're making our final... Oh, hold on one second. Let me redo this right here. So we can get it. So, all right. So this is probably like our final part of the podcast. We're gonna wind down. You've been tattooing me for about 2 hours now. It wasn't that painful. Now it is. It's starting to creep up on me a little bit, but it was cool. It was a really cool experience. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad that, like I said, you came and were willing to try something new for the first time, and me as well. And hopefully we put out some pretty cool content, and I don't know, I enjoy it. If other people enjoy it, that's great too.
Oh yeah.
Would you ever do this again in the future?
Yeah, most definitely. It's real cool.
You should become like a Instagram live like tattoo artist, or like a tattoo podcaster that just goes around, just talks to people while you're doing tattoos.
Just like in between everybody's session.
Yeah. Back and forth. But I do wonder if like Instagram live cuts out, if you could go back into it, or you have to like pause for like an hour.
Yeah, you can.
But I can't wait to see the final, how final it looks like.
I mean, you're not even gonna see the final project until like the next number on this.
Yeah, I know. So are you currently working at another place?
No, I'm not. I've been doing a lot of job interviews, but nobody seems to want me.
What kind of interviews are you going to? Or what kind of jobs are you applying for?
I don't want to say anything.
Well, you don't say it.
No,
is
no,
it like
no,
retail, or is it like...
Yeah, like retail, restaurants, just all, just job hungry, but
It's rough out there right now.
it's rough, and it's like, I don't know, even if it is rough, like I'm just like not one of those candidates that make it a lot for like employers, 17-year-old kid who hasn't graduated high school, tatted up, it's like kind of the opposite of what most people are looking for, so that's kind of what I get. But I don't know, I got tattooing holding me up. It's pretty cool.
That's what's up, as long as you're able to make it, make some money for yourself and pay the bills the way you can, you're not getting rich right now, but you're doing what you like to do, and what more could you ask for at the moment?
Oh yeah.
But don't give up on your job search. There's ways you were able to connect out there. San Francisco is one of the places where you could go in and have a tattoo like on your neck and your face, you can still get a job. So
yeah,
don't be tripping too much about that. I
Yeah.
think your time will come.
It's timing more than anything. This last March, actually on my birthday, I got fired from the retail store I was working at.
Can I ask what you did or what happened?
I didn't do anything. It was just because of quarantine and COVID.
Oh, okay. I was like, did you
But-
like tell off your boss? Did you like steal some
Nah,
shit?
but it was like, it was very straightforward. Like, okay, we don't need you here anymore. Like, you could go. It was just more of me being like, oh, okay, I get shoot. All right, what do I do now? But through that, I've just been kind of tattooing, pushing myself to do more. And I think that's the most important part. I think if I didn't get fired, I wouldn't be pushing myself the way that I do. Which is pretty cool to think about, but it is a bummer. And I don't know. All I can say is it wasn't the best birthday.
That was on your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I've been fired before. Shit happens. I got fired from my first job at McDonald's, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that about?
Some dumb shit. Some dumb stuff. Like, it was Thanksgiving time, I think, or around that time. It was the holidays, I remember. And it was not that busy. I didn't want to be working at the time, but I was. I was kind of lonely because all my family's back home. And someone had ordered 3 chocolate chip cookies, but there was only one. So I went to the back to get more, and on my way back there, I ate the cookie that was left. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to make more. I want to make a whole batch anyways. And all I hear is them calling my name, and they're like, he just said he wants that one cookie, it's fine. And I had to be like, no, you don't. I don't have it no more. You know, I try to make up some excuse, and then I'm not good at lying, so I was honest, and I was like, yeah, I ate it, and yeah, so they fired my ass.
Oh man.
But I mean, you learn from it.
From
you
yourself though, yo. That's like
Yeah,
50-50 on you, you know.
I'm
If
too
it was
honest.
me, I would have been like, yo, it fell down under the grill. Like I just had to pick it up and throw it.
I don't know. I thinking back on it, like I wanted to get fired, so I was down.
Well, yeah, there's that, but
Yeah, that was the way to go though. But the cool thing about McDonald's was I was always getting free McDonald's until now. I just can't stand it. I can only eat it when I'm hungry.
that's one of the main reasons I wouldn't work at like a famous fast food restaurant or like a franchise. Like, before I was like tattooed up and like had a piercing on my face, I could have worked at In-N-Out. I actually got like
I
like
wish
a
you
follow,
did, man.
like a following at In-N-Out, like the follow up, like it wasn't just like, oh, we'll get back to you. Like they actually followed up with me and stuff. But I realized that I was like, nah, I'm not gonna just like stay here for like a good amount of time and get used to eating burgers all day.
I mean, I kind of want to go get In-N-Out when I'm done. Like that sounds delicious. Do you have a favorite restaurant that you like to go to in the city?
Not a specific restaurant, but in the city, just Mexican food. Just
What's your favorite Mexican
in
food
general.
place here?
I don't have one specific place. I have like, I'm lying actually. But it's not a restaurant. It's a taco truck. Yeah, a taco truck. It's like in the Mission somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where. They switch it up every so often, but it's like, it's cool. I think the SF specifically, we have like some badass Latinos here who just know how to whip it up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you on that. I don't want to be too judgmental. San Francisco is not my favorite place for Mexican food, I'll be honest. But there's some places I fuck with hard. There's like some places I really do like, enjoy. Alfarolito is one of them. Taqueria Vallarta,
Okay.
that one's a good one. Taqueria Los Mayas,
Uh-huh.
that one's cool. The one right here in the neighborhood, that one is, what's the name of that one? I always forget the stupid name. Is it Tommy's? I think that one's delicious. No, there's some really good places here, and I can't really hate too much. I'm just used to Mexican food back home. I think it's delicious.
Oh yeah, well that's one thing too, you know, like I love Mexican food, but nothing will like ever beat like my mom's cooking, you know.
Did your mom cook like Yucatan
Yes.
Mexican food?
Yeah. So like we have a whole bunch of foods that, like most people don't even hear of. And it sucks because like, oh, you guys are missing out. You know?
Mhm.
But yeah, she doesn't cook too much, but when she does, it's like it's so worth it. It's so worth like savoring the moment where it's just kind of like, oh yeah, you're not gonna get this anywhere else. But I guess like that's with everybody, you know, like. To you, my mom's cooking might not be the best, but like to me, it's like, oh, I love this
no.
stuff. You know what I mean?
It's how it is.
Hell yeah.
How it is. I really love like taco trucks in Oakland, like Taco Sinaloa, El Gordo's, right there off in Fruitville, and there's another one out there that's really good. They're all in the same area, and they all taste like Taco Sinaloa has some really good fish tacos. Tacos El Gordo, that one has some really good, just like, you know, carne asada, al pastor tacos are just delicious there. But if I want to get tacos, that's where I want to go. But there's a secret place it's not technically Bay Area, but me and my girlfriend go up there sometimes, Santa Rosa. They have some really good Mexican food. There's some couple spots out there that are really good. I think it's Taqueria Mocajete. That one's really delicious. But yeah.
Damn, you'll be remembering these spots' names.
Go to too many times. We go too many times, and that's why. But we eat out too much. That's probably why too. Let me get through this.
Yeah, it's getting to that point, huh?
Doing the outline today.
Yeah.
Dang, that car is loud. You hear it speeding? Getting to that point, getting sleepy. Just getting old.
I mean, everything that doesn't get, how would I say it? Done today, we're gonna be like back on this soon anyway.
Okay, yeah, it's not a big deal for me. We'll plan it out the next appointment. Get that going.
Yeah, it is a big piece though compared to your A.
Oh yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be done with my live though. I'm probably gonna turn it off right now.
I just realized mine is on too. I didn't even.
Yeah, might be doing mine way too long. Thank you, Alexa, my only fan.
She's like right here.